And up next here on NEC Women's Basketball on the Run, it is time for our Commitment to Success Spotlight, and it's brought to you by Provident Bank. Commitment you could count on. Joining us today from the Moyne Dolphins, junior forward Ashley Buragas. Ashley, welcome to the Spotlight.
Hi, thank you.
It's so great to have you here, and you know we're getting down to it. It's the end of February, only 3 games left in the regular season. As we speak, Moyne is 8-7, tied with Wagner for the number 4 spot in the standings. It's interesting. The Dolphins went 3-7 in January, but once that calendar turned over to February, it's been a 5-0 February. So what's been the secret? Take us behind the scenes. What's been the secret behind this turnaround?
Coach really just talks about, next game, we're not worried about any games in the future. Like, yes, we want to play our best basketball in March and we want to get that home game, but we just got to worry about the next one. So FDU obviously is our next important game, and that's all we're worrying about.
Was there a point this year that you realized, maybe during that January stretch, let's not panic. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We got this. Was there a point or a moment or a game where you realized the sky isn't falling and we're going to be okay?
There was definitely some points, obviously, of frustration, but I think we had a lot of injuries, so it was very up and down for us. And a lot of players healed up, were ready to come back. And I think once our players came back and we all got back to that comfortableness, we were all right, let's go.
Now, speaking about comfort, you joined the team this year and you made an immediate impact in your second game back in November. 20 points, 22 rebounds, a double-double, a couple big baskets in the overtime win against Lafayette. So how much did that performance kind of help you settle in right from the get-go and form a comfort level with your new team?
It definitely helped because, coming in as a transfer and upperclassmen, no one really knew what to expect from me, and we were all a whole new team. So it was all new to everyone, and including me. I think respect wouldn't be a good word because I had the respect and I loved my teammates, but they're all right, she knows what she's doing. She can do this. She can pass. We can count on her. And I think that was a big moment for Coach Nick to be all right, she can be consistent every game.
Now, just a couple weeks ago, you scored your 1,000th point against Chicago State. You were honored for it before the game this past weekend. So what did that accomplishment mean to you? That's a lot of points. So putting up 1,000 points in your college career, how important, how special was that for you?
It was definitely special, especially as a JUCO transfer. Not many can do that. And I didn't know where my career was going to be being a JUCO kid. So just Coach Nick, believing in me and my teammates. And they've just been supporting me. And I was just let's win this game. I don't care about this honor. We got to win.
Now, you talk a lot about Coach Nick and the job he's done. It has been incredible these last couple of years with Moyne. Is there a piece of coaching or a tip or a phrase or something he's kind of installed on you that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Go touch the dolphin. Which is where we have to run up the bleachers. If the turnover just did that about 30 minutes ago, we just had a turnover. That's literally probably what goes through my mind the whole game to make sure I don't turn the ball over.
So that's the secret to not turn the ball over. Don't want to touch the dolphin.
Yeah.
Now let's kind of go back in time a little bit to when you were young. How was it? When was it that you kind of fell in love with the game of basketball and you knew that this was the sport for you?
I was actually the first one. I'm the youngest of 2 older siblings, and I was the first one to start basketball. We were all trying different sports, and I was you know what, softball ain't it for me. Let's try something else. And ever since I started in first grade, I started AU in second grade. It just hit from there, and I didn't get good more until middle school. It was a hot potato when it was in my camp when I was younger.
So what was it, throughout your basketball journey that brought you to Moyne? What was it that stood out that you knew that this was a family, this was the place for you?
Big part, obviously, coaches, meeting Coach Nick, Casey, MJ. Emma wasn't here yet when I was doing all my visiting, but just knowing I wanted a relationship with my coach, I didn't always have that. So that was huge. And being closer to home, Missouri was really far for me. So it was nice to have some family and support at basically all my games that I wasn't used to for the last 2 years.
Now, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, Moyne 5-0 in February, moving up the standings to number 4. And you kind of talked about it, one game at a time to try and get those home playoff games. How important would it be to get a top 4 seed and have someone come to you up in Syracuse once the tournament starts in 2 weeks?
Man, that would be really nice. That's been a goal we've talked about basically before the season start was let's get this home game. I think a lot of teams should be worried, especially us. We've been doing pretty good on the road, but I think home we're even more dangerous. So I think we just got to be ready for because no matter what, we're going to show up as our best.
So let's talk about the games coming up this weekend. Up next, Lemoyne goes to New Jersey Thursday night to play FDU. FDU is going to be playing for the NEC consecutive wins record, for most wins all time. But the last time they lost in the NEC regular season, it was almost 2 years ago to the day in New Jersey to the Lemoyne Dolphins. So you've seen this team before earlier in the season, obviously. What is it about them that makes them such a challenge for not just you guys, but for all the teams in the league?
I would say that probably they're super disciplined. They stick to what they're doing and they don't go away from it. And like that's our biggest thing. And like they just wait for you to turn the ball over, which like that's something that we've needed to work on. And like improvements up and down with us of just like handling the ball and knowing what to do.
And so obviously a big game first and foremost on Thursday, but then Lemoyne will come back home on Saturday, 1 p.m. ESPN Plus, a big game against New Haven. Make sure you check it out. It was 48-40, a Dolphins win back in way early January. What do you even remember about that game, and what might be some things that we can look for those who tune in on ESPN Plus on Saturday?
That was a really tough scoring game for us. Nothing was really going our way, but we played really great defensively. Coach emphasized that like throughout because we only had like 4 points at like one point. It was and they only had like eight. So coach is like things will go our way at some point. It's like you got to keep doing the defensive end because obviously you know the basic quote, defense wins championships. We all know that. So like we just have to keep working on that.
And so now we reach the final 5 questions, and these are just rapid fire, Ashley. So first thing that comes to mind, just let it out, all right?
Okay.
All right, favorite color?
Pink.
Okay, favorite karaoke song?
Ooh, California Girls.
Okay. Favorite snack or junk food?
Coaches will all probably say Doritos.
Okay. If we took a survey of your teammates and we asked them to come up with a trait or an adjective that best describes you, what do you think would be the most popular choice? What would they come up with?
Lately it's the GOAT. They've just been calling me that. They've made edits of me as a GOAT.
Okay. That is an ultimate compliment. And finally, Lemoyne, what will it take to win the NEC championship in 2026 to be the ones cutting down the nets when all is said and done in March?
Just our effort.
Obviously, it's been a great effort in the month of February. Hopefully keep that going into March. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck to you and the Dolphins the rest of the season.
Thank you.
You can catch Ashley and the Dolphins again Thursday night, 7 p.m. on NEC Front Row as they try to derail history and take on the FDU Knights. And then join us Saturday, 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Yes, NESN Nation for Lemoyne and New Haven. You can check out the full episode of the NEC Women's Basketball on the Run podcast. It's available now wherever you get your podcasts. And this has been the Commitment to Success Spotlight brought to you by Provident Bank. Commitment you could count on.